Okay, today let's talk about proper business decision making. So how can we make proper decisions within our business? Okay, so common threats to business practices are these four. Okay, I'm sorry, let me just move myself up right there. So common threats. First one is whistleblowing. Whistleblowing refers to the act where you reveal private or classified information about an organization, usually related to wrongdoing or misconduct. So if you've heard of cases of whistleblowing, you would typically see this on the news, where you would see an employee, for example, with what happened with PhilHealth, where an employee or someone, manager would reveal that, oh, there's something wrong happening in this business, please investigate it. So they would usually reveal classified information such as financial documents, recordings, videos that usually threaten the company or business when they conduct wrongdoings. Next is discrimination. As we've had from our previous lecture, discrimination is intended to accomplish differential treatment of persons or social groups for a certain set of traits. So again, income, racial, gender discrimination. This is already something you know. Insider trading is the illegal use of insider information per profit in financial trading. So the way it works is like this. For example, I'm an employee, and let's say you're planning to invest in the stock market. I can give you information that, for example, we're launching a new product next week that is highly controversial. For example, we're launching a new, we've decided as a gas company to go completely renewable energy. Now, the people like for you, you would be able to predict how that would affect my stocks as a company. You can use that information to buy and sell the stocks at the correct time so that you're able to gain an advantage over other people. That is what we call insider trading. Power tripping is using your position or using your power to control other people. So you use your position so that you can influence them to do what you want or to have control over them. So these are the four main common threats in business practices. So let me set here. Okay. Now the danger in business is that the danger for it in business is that self-centered management leads to the death of the business. When you're making decisions, you have to consider that there are different stakeholders involved. Like we've discussed, shareholders are not the only ones present in the company. You have so many other stakeholders that depend on the company. And the most important aspect of business is sustainability and growth, not necessarily profit. Okay? Because even if you focus on profit, if you're not able to focus or make decisions that help sustainability and growth, at some point your business will die or suffer. Okay? So there are 4 steps in ethical behavior in business. Okay? So first, it's identifying the problem, making judgment, doing what is right, and carrying out the decision. Let's go through them one by one. Let me just move myself. There. First, you identify the problem. You have to acknowledge that there is a problem first. You have to acknowledge that there's something you have to decide on as a company or as your as the management team. You have to be able to decide that there is a problem there. So you have to look at perspective. If you're too involved in the problem, you might not make the most professional decision. That's why this requires emotional detachment. Because there are certain times where you yourself have to decide something that can be negative to you. And typically, when people are too emotionally attached to it, it becomes harder for them to make decisions that negatively affect them. So first, you acknowledge the problem. You recognize that you have a certain perspective, so you may get other people to look at the problem and to help you distance yourself from it. Next is you make a judgment. You determine the culpability of the person involved. So, something to note here. Before you make a judgment, you have to remember you have 3 biases. The first one is that you have a bias about the world. You have beliefs and attitudes about the world around us. Okay, it could be like 2020 is such a horrible year. Everything is bad. I should just make bad decisions. That is a bias. Bias about others, for example, this is a form of discrimination. You see, for example, someone from Ateneo or someone from UP, and then you automatically think that the decision they're making is automatically true, and you're judging them because they came from prestigious schools or schools that are well known. Next is you also have a bias to yourself. These are when we do things that will benefit us in our image. This is, for example, I'm gonna make a decision. a pay cut, for example. I'm gonna take the management team has to take a 20% pay cut to help save the company. But if you're part of the management team, you obviously don't want that. So you have to be careful that you also have a bias towards doing things that benefit you. Okay? So these are the 3 bias theories. Okay? Next, doing what is right. So the important aspect to doing what is right is commitment. Whatever you choose to do, okay, based on the mission vision of your company, so whatever decision that is, you commit to it. Okay, you try to uphold and commit to the values promoted by the organization. So you're trying to say that these are what our company believes in, or this is what our company believes in, this is what we're going to uphold in our company. And you're committed to that cause. The last one is carrying out the decision. Okay, now you turn deliberation, so we've met about it. Let's say we have to decide on whether to take a pay cut or not for the sake of the company. Okay, and now you carry out the decision. You announce it, you take a pay cut, you announce you're taking starting next month. My 100,000 peso salary will only be 50,000 to help save the company money. And the truth about action is you have to take accountability for it. Whatever action you decide to do, regardless if the outcome is positive or negative, you are accountable to that action. Okay? So, summary is proper decision making in business is doing what is best for both business and stakeholder. So, you consider every aspect of the business and you try to make the best decision possible in the given situation. This is not necessarily always easy because there are so many factors. There are so many elements coming into play as we've discussed because there are so many stakeholders. You can never please everyone, but you still try to make the best decision based on what you know, what you've learned, and what you're trying to accomplish in the business. So when you make, I think here is you have to have proper discernment, or the good perspective, the commitment to do what is right, to uphold what you want to uphold, and you are able to face the repercussions of your actions, may it be a positive effect or a negative effect. Thank you very much.